What's good, y'all? It's your boy Church Boy Bree back with another video. Hope you're having a blessed day. And today we're gonna learn about the Pringle can. Why is Pringles in the Pringle can? And that's a good question because I thought about it once or twice, but I never knew why Pringles were in the Pringles can. But let's find out. Hope you're having a blessed day. Let's get into it.
Is Pringles the only chip makers that use it for their packaging? Well, today we're popping the top off as we try to answer the question, why do Pringles come in that can? But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other celebrated snacks you want to see featured. For now, you say potato, I say potato. You say Pringles, and I say, well, Pringles. Back in the 1950s, the Procter & Gamble Corporation was dipping their toes into just about every product type a consumer could want at the time. From toothpaste to toilet paper, to fabric softeners to diapers. If you could find it in the home, P&G wanted in. And potato chips were no exception. In fact, given their heavy focus on edible oils used for food making, P&G believed they could revolutionize snacking. And why not, right? Regular potato chips are greasy, stale, and often broken after being jostled around in their bags during the trip from the factory to your mouth. Well, chemist Frederick Bauer saw those woes and became determined to do better for humanity. Over 2 years, he developed the dough-based crisp, which is not quite a chip and not quite a biscuit. He also came to believe that chips had far too many shapes and decided on a uniquely uniform hyperbolic paraboloid shape, which most consumers would refer to as one half of a duckbill. With that, P&G was ready to completely reinvent the snack biz. Only one problem: the crisps didn't taste good. Due to the lack of flavor, the project was shelved until the 1960s, when a guy named Alexander Lipa stepped in and succeeded in improving the taste with a new recipe that included dehydrated potatoes, rice, corn, and wheat. With that settled, industrial engineer Gene Wolfe created a machine which could fast-track the saddle-shaped mold process. Dough slices were stamped, formed, and fried in just 15 seconds, which was far less than the several minutes required to cook conventional chips. Of course, this uniquely shaped snack would require a special container, and to that end, Bauer invented the now iconic tubular can, adorned with a simple black outline of a man's face, with a small tuft of parted hair and a handlebar mustache. That mascot, for the record, was officially known as Mr. P for decades, but a 2006 Wikipedia hoax claimed his name was actually Julius Pringles, and the moniker stuck. P&G's revolutionary new potato chip debuted in 1967 as Pringles Newfangled Potato Chips, a name that was eventually shortened to just plain old Pringles. The source of the name remains unknown, but it may be related to Mark Pringle, an inventor whose work was cited in a related P&G patent. It could also be derived from the address of two P&G advertising execs who lived on a Pringle Drive in Ohio. And there are a few other theories. Whatever the case, the initial response to Pringles was lukewarm. The early 1970s would see the release of sour cream and onion and barbecue varieties. By 1975, P&G had invested roughly $70 million into the launch, and consumers still weren't biting. In fact, it wouldn't be until the 1980s that Pringles would finally gain traction with consumers. There are those that believe the change was due to the Fever for the Flavor of Pringles campaign, but we wouldn't rule out that it was the ad featuring a hunky, albeit still unknown, Brad Pitt that did the trick. Seriously, that man looks fantastic eating potato chips. Anyway, Pringles first went on sale in Indiana in 1968. Distribution then expanded gradually until 1975, at which point the product was finally available across most of the United States. The bad times, however, were far from over. Rival snack makers hated the idea of P&G calling their creation chips, since they don't fit the standard definition of a potato chip. Their arguments caught the ear of the FDA, who ruled Pringles could only call themselves chips if they agreed to emphasize the dried potato ingredient used in the recipe on the label, deeming the option.
It's always something, man. Someone always hating. Somebody always hating, boys. I just want to say that. Someone always hating when you're doing good.
In a graphic design nightmare, P&G decided to refer to them as crisps instead.
One of these lunches has a peanut lover's favorites. The other has a sunflower butter you packed for your son.
Let's skip all of that. feel for the flavor.
The design of mascot Julius Pringles and the can itself have been tweaked a bit over the years, but the process of making the crisps hasn't changed much at all. It starts with the dough of dehydrated processed potatoes, corn, rice, and wheat. The whole shebang is then rolled flat under 4 tons of pressure, cut, fried, and oiled, seasoned through a waterfall system, flipped between conveyor belts, and finally stacked into satisfying uniform piles. Starting in 1991, Pringles began to expand internationally, first into Europe and Latin America, and then into Asia around 1995. These new markets demanded new, interesting flavors, leading to the release of varieties like prawn cocktail, seaweed, serrano ham, roast chicken, blueberry, cheddar cheese, salt and vinegar, pizza, ranch, jalapeno, buffalo ranch, parmesan and roasted garlic, cheddar and sour cream, honey mustard, and screaming dill pickle. Seasonally, you can also expect limited editions such as ketchup, zesty lime and chili, Pizzalicious, paprika, Texas barbecue spice, chili cheese dog.
Who are coming up with these flavors? Hot dog? Come on now. Ketchup? Come on now. What's going on with these flavors, bro?
Cajun, onion blossom, mozzarella cheese stick, Mexican layer dip, peppermint white chocolate, cinnamon sugar, and of course, pumpkin pie spice for those autumn months. So what's the deal with that can? Virtually every other potato sack product, and most snack foods in general for that matter, come in bags. So why did Pringles, and Pringles alone, opt for the can system? Well, it all starts with Frederick Bauer, who designed the Pringles canister at the same time he was designing the saddle-shaped hyperbolic paraboloid crisp. You see, Bauer knew that potato chips were fragile and easily broken when stored in bags. He believed that stacking them in a tube would keep them all the same shape and protect them from shattering, offering a unique opportunity for consumers to purchase a product where all chips were consistent and whole all the time. This was, without a doubt, a revolutionary concept for the snack aisle, and Bauer didn't make the decision lightly. He spent 2 years of his life refining the shape and the container, only putting the project down when he failed to find a way to enhance the flavor of the chips. Luckily for him, when P&G did finally crack the flavor problem, Bauer's invention found its way back into the mix. And it's no wonder they did. That can allows Pringles to be packaged, sealed, tested, and shipped in a process that takes just 20 minutes. It prevents the chips, excuse us, crisps, from being broken, while allowing Pringles to stand out as a unique offering amongst its bagged snack neighbors in the supermarket aisles. And best of all, the metal bottom can be drummed on, which is reportedly what inspired the brand's famous "Once you pop, you can't stop" slogan. Bauer considered that container to be one of the proudest achievements of his life. And when he passed away in 2008, he requested that portions of his ashes be stored in a Pringles can. His children chose to honor that wish, ultimately opting for an original flavor can. For the record, modern Pringle cans still use the same design as Bauer's original, but are made with mostly recyclable materials. P&G has also promised to make all Pringles packaging 100% reusable, recyclable, or compostable by the end of 2025, which is right around the corner, so hopefully they're almost done with that. While the one-of-a-kind snack has enjoyed exponential growth over the years, Pringles has hit a few bumps in the road along the way. Remember when we told you that thanks to the FDA, Pringles aren't legally allowed to be labeled as chips, so they rebranded them as crisps? Well, that caused some problems in the United Kingdom, where the standard word for American chips happens to be crisps. Long story short, that branding meant P&G would have to pay a value-added tax on potato crisps and potato-derived snacks. Not wanting to pay that tax, Pringles began a lengthy legal battle in the British courts starting in 2007. And in 2008, they convinced the London High Court to rule that despite the language on the can, Pringles were not actually crisps. According to the court, Pringles did not contain enough potato to have the quality of potato-ness, a word we weren't aware existed before today, but will now try to work into our everyday vernacular. In addition to the ingredients, the court felt the snack's unconventional shape set them far enough apart from actual crisps that a distinction should be made. The result was that Pringles could no longer be called crisps, but also didn't have to pay the tax. Until 2009, that is, when the Court of Appeals reversed the decision and ruled that Pringles were indeed potato-based crisps, forcing P&G to pay $160 million in taxes. In 2016, Pringles faced backlash in Australia after moving production to a factory in Malaysia, which only had enough materials on hand to produce smaller-sized cans. This resulted in smaller-sized chips and accusations of shrinkflation, hands no longer fitting inside the tubes, and most important of all, a difference in taste. Pringles assured consumers that the issue was a temporary one and would be corrected in the future, but the damage to their image down under had already been done. And in 2017, a UK-based recycling trade group named the Pringles can the world's #1 recycling villain. Yes, that sounds like a cool title for a bad guy, but it's actually related to the unique composition of Pringles packaging. The mix of foil, paperboard, metal, and plastic is an absolute nightmare to recycle, and that complaint is what led the company to promise it would fix it by the end of 2025. Despite the problems, by 2012, Pringles was the 4th most popular snack brand globally after Lay's, Doritos, and Cheetos. That's probably why in May of that year, Kellogg's officially acquired the brand from Procter & Gamble for $2.6 billion, making Kellogg's the world's...
Ooh, that's a billion with a B. Ooh.
second largest snack company, behind only PepsiCo. Today, you can find Pringles in more than 140 countries, boasting new localized flavors such as piri-piri chicken, salt and seaweed, eggs benedict, crab, and believe it or not, hot dog. There are also 25 other flavors in the US, and dozens of others abroad. Top sellers and fan favorites today include the original flavor, cheddar cheese, barbecue, and sour cream and onion. And in 2024, the brand released a new spin-off product, Pringles Mingles. The puffed snack is a first for the Pringles company, and is an attempt to usher in a new era of Pringles offerings. So the next time you're drumming on one of those cans, play one for Frederick Bauer.
Yeah. That was interesting because all them different weird flavors, I don't know if they successful or not, but just stick to the original, to the regular flavor, the regular flavors. My favorite is the flameless flavor, the barbecue, and the buffalo ranch. Salt and vinegar is like an honorable flavor of mine, but them like my tops. So hope y'all enjoyed finding out the mystery of the can, and hope y'all having a blessed day. Check the rest of the videos out that I put out this week. And y'all take care. The Most High love you. I love you. We out.